All right, moving on, the US revoked the sanctions exemption for Chabahar port development on Thursday. The decision comes as the US aims to isolate Iran, especially over its support for terrorism and regional proxies. In effect, the US has revoked a 2018 exemption that had enabled India to pursue the Chabahar port project in Iran. Sanctions will come into effect starting September 29th, after which individuals operating the Chabahar port will risk US penalties. The US Department of State also blacklisted a global illicit financial network as well as several individuals and organizations with Hong Kong and UAE addresses. The US Department in a press statement said that the United States remains committed to disrupting illicit funding streams financing Iran's malign activities as long as Iran devotes its illicit revenues to funding attacks on the United States and our allies, supporting terrorism around the world and pursuing other destabilizing actions. We will continue to use all the tools at our disposal to hold the regime accountable. Well, the statement added that once the revocation is effective, persons who operate the Chabahar port or engage in other activities described in IFCA may expose themselves to sanctions under IFCA. That decision would affect India as the country that is building a terminal at the strategic port. In May 2024, India and Iran signed a 10-year agreement for India Ports Global Limited to be able to run and develop the Shahid Beheshi terminal at the Chabahar port. IPGL was to operate the port terminal, managing cargo and container traffic alike. Now, India has pledged $120 million for machinery. The country has also committed a $250 million line of credit for buildings as part of its heavy investment in the port's expansion, but that deal and the investments are at risk from America's latest decision. The deal gave India a vital sea-based transport route to landlocked Afghanistan and Central Asian markets, avoiding Pakistan. The port plays an essential role in the international north-south transport corridor. That was an initiative to link India with Russia via land and sea routes through Iran. The port also gave India a strategic alternative to China's Gwadar port, the strategically positioned port in Sistan-Balochistan province on the energy-rich country's southern coast, which was a response to China's growing Gwadar port as Chabahar is less than 100 kilometers away. Iran remains the most sanctioned country in the world, facing years of stringent measures aimed at curbing its oil exports and global influence. While the risk of US sanctions was always there, India believed it could convince America of the deal's benefits and advocate for a broader view of the project. Now, India faces a formidable economic and diplomatic dilemma as a result of the US decision. This also threatens India's port investments and operations and puts its strategic objectives at odds with US sanctions. Now, India must tread a diplomatic balancing act, handling its relations with Iran and the United States.